Good day, Ubers, Ubers. So, you've seen these things, these power packs. This one here is fairly old. It might be a good 8 years old, maybe actually longer than that, maybe 10. It doesn't have a built-in inverter. The new ones have built-in inverters in them. But it's kind of nice. It's got the compressor in it for air. It's got a jumper cables on the back. It's got a USB plug. It's got a 12-volt car plug. And it certainly has saved me a few times in, when my battery's low on my car. It has a little flashlight on it. Well, that's ridiculous, but it's a pretty decent. It weighs a lot. The new ones now are lithium batteries, but this thing cost me $50, and it still keeps going. It's totally discharged. It's probably going to take 4 or 5 days to completely go up to a full charge on it, but it's still pretty cool. So another option, because since it doesn't have an inverter in it, but it does have a 12-volt plug, is this bad boy over here. Now, this one here is a 700 watt modified sine wave inverter. This is the first inverter, off-grid inverter I ever bought. Now, I did buy a smaller one, like a 150 watt, that would run my laptop and my car. But that doesn't count. We just can't even think that counts as a off-grid. As a matter of fact, you have to run the car in order to run the laptop, because you can't do that on the battery by itself. So it wasn't very efficient, but it will work in a pinch. So basically what I've done here, as you can see, is I attached a cord to it. And that, of course, plugs in the back on there. It's a very simple, it's nothing fancy here. This isn't, so it's got ground plugs on it, but there's no place to hook up a ground wire necessarily. But this will work in a pinch to power, something either out in the world off of this bad boy. You could just use it in the car, but you'd have to run your car for a 700 watt draw. But it's still a possibility. The other thing I can do is, in a power failure, I could hook this thing up. And that was actually my first use of this way, was that I had a power failure at my apartment, and I used the power pack to run my BiPAP machine, and that got me through the night until power came on in the morning. So it's just a simple little thing. 700 watts, not much, but it will get you through a little bit, And then, of course, I have the 3000 watt hooked up onto the Trojan batteries also. But I just thought I'd share. You could just, if you find one of these on Craigslist or at a yard sale or a tag sale. Up here in the Berkshires, we call them tag sales. In the eastern part of Massachusetts, they call it yard sales or garage sales. But it's essentially as people selling their crap out of their front yard. It's not always crap. It's always really good crap. It's basically stuff they don't want, and they're selling it, and you're going to buy it at a good price. But yeah, I also have one. Last night we had a power failure, and then, of course, I have to go get the battery box so I can take, the big D-size batteries, put it into the radio so that I could have some access to the world. And it's all doable. This one, I'd like to get onto a higher antenna in the yard, which is probably going to happen. What could happen even soon, if I motivate myself enough. But at any rate, ta-ta for now.